Can I avoid relegation from the Premier League using the lowest ranked team in the English Football League on ultimate difficulty? Join me in this FC25 Career Mode challenge series to find out. So the bottom team in the English League 2 is Carlisle United. I know nothing about them or what players they have, but I will be launching them in the Premier League on ultimate difficulty. Let me know in the comments if you think I will be able to avoid relegation. So, first things first is to boot out a team from the Premier League. Sorry, Brentford fans. Now, a few rules with this career mode. 1. We're not allowed to use the transfer market to bring in players, so the original squad will be our squad for the whole season. And that also applies for the youth academy, as most youth players scouted will be better than the players we currently have. Lastly, for the rules is, like I said, I'll be playing on ultimate difficulty, and I cannot adjust that, even if we're getting slapped. This is a challenge. Now for the settings, there's one thing in my favour, and I'm allowed to have my players' fitness and sharpness on always full, as they will probably be gassed by 20 minutes anyways. Difficulty on ultimate. Competitor mode will also be turned on, but we have to change that in the pre-match settings later. No financial takeover, of course, because we can't use the transfer market or youth academy. And for the board expectations, I'll set it to no sacking, as there's a strong possibility that we will get completely battered in a lot of games. Now, I like to set my halves at 3 minutes. This is to keep the career moving quickly and to make the games more entertaining, and also improve my chances of avoiding embarrassing 10-0 defeats. For the gameplay type, I find simulation a little slow. I prefer the fast-paced gameplay and moving the ball around quickly, so I'll be setting it to classic and won't be using any sliders. AI behaviour will be set to dynamic, just to create more variety in the games. For training, like I said, our fitness and sharpness will always be full. And that will be all for the settings. Now for my manager, I completely randomised his appearance. And why the hell does he look exactly like Wayne Rooney?
A warm welcome to you all. Without further delay, we are pleased to introduce your new manager.
Okay, so that's us, Mr. Goji Berry, aka Wayne Rooney. Now in terms of the episodes, each episode will be a month's worth of games on the calendar, so today's episode will be all of the August games. I'll just be showing the highlights of each games, and we'll be simming any cup games, as this is just a league challenge, and I want to focus purely on avoiding relegation. So quickly going through the tactical preset, I think our best chances of any success this season is to play counter-attacking football, as I doubt we'll have much possession. As for the coaches, I was just trying to create a nice balance between attack, midfield, defence and the goalkeepers until I got towards the end and forgot our budget was worse than an 8-year-old's pocket money, so unfortunately we had to cut ourselves short in the coaching department. Not that any level of coaching would be able to improve these bunch of donkeys, but we move. Okay, so let's see what we're working with here regarding the squad. I'm actually going to leave that formation, as I quite like it, although realistically I should be using 5 at the back. I don't want to be too negative. As you can see, most of my players are between 60 to 65 rated, and I have absolutely no idea who are the usual regular starters in real life, or if I'm butchering the team, so excuse me any Carlisle fans. For development plans, I'll fast forward all this as it's pretty boring, but I'll be changing the players' plans in order to either get their weak foot or skill moves up, or make defenders and wingers faster, and of course improve the strikers' finishing. And also keeping an eye on their player roles in case they are close to achieving a plus. So now that's all done, let's take a look at who will be playing in this episode. Let's go to August, and as you can see we start our season off, home to Crystal Palace. Not a terrible fixture to start with, but then that following fixture has got me shaking already. Our second game sees us go to Anfield, we're so cooked. But we then finish this episode off with a home game against Southampton, which we cannot afford to lose, as you'd imagine they will be down the bottom, scrapping for their lives also. How many points can we pick up in the first episode? I'm aiming for 2. So as we are transfer market banned and have nothing left to do in preparation to start the season off, let's skip to our first game. Alright, so let's take a look at today's lineup, which will probably be our lineup for every game, unless I notice a player is utter crap. So leading the line today is Hugo, on loan from Manchester United, with Embleton behind him in cam. Harrison Wern on the wings, and protecting the back 4 today is Whelan and Guy in defensive mid. Then a back 4 of Harper, Hayden, Thomas and Williams. Then Breeze in net. Let's just hope it's not a breeze for the opposition to score 6 goals. So like I said earlier, I will be setting competitor mode on, just to make it that extra bit harder for us. So without further ado, let's get into the gameplay.
The atmosphere is
There he is, look, Mr. Goji Berry, raring to go in his shorts.
Get ready to clash in front of a packed stadium. All the action here on EA TV.
Hello and thanks for joining us live here on EA TV. I'm Guy Mowbray to bring you commentary along...
7th minute, Williams gets dispossessed by Lacroix, who pings it out to Vega on the left wing. Then a quick ball into Darwin Núñez, who holds the ball up and gives it to Chibueze, where he delivers a great through ball. Back to Vega, our defence is nowhere to be seen. Vega manages to get a shot off, and Breeze makes a fine save. But Sarr is there to pounce on the rebound with a stunning overhead kick, and that sees us go 1-0 down in the 11th minute. Painful start. In the 25th minute, Whelan wins the ball with a crunching tackle on Sarr. Guy gives it to Harper, plays a 1-2 with Hugo, and feeds Harris down the line. Harris sends Richards into the stands. Hugo recovers the ball and dinks it across to Embleton, where his header is unfortunately just wide of the post. Gotta love what EA has done to headers this year, right? Just before half-time, after some nice build-up play, we're looking to create one more chance before the whistle. Embleton gives it to Guy, who lays it off to Whelan. He looks up and goes for the long-range effort. But my dopey ass. Yellow times the attempt, and it sails high and wide, and that is that for the first half. Going into the second half, there is action from the get-go. Embleton spreads it out to the left, to Harris. I play a lock, to get Harris away from his markers. He plays a through ball back to Embleton, who takes the ball into his stride and unleashes a green timed power shot, but the keeper is there to pull off a good save. Mr. Goji Berry looking a bit fed up with these missed chances. Although we do have a corner, Embleton stands over the corner and will be looking to whip it in on our centre-back's head, Hayden. And he does just that. Leaping into the air above the defenders, he green times his header and gets us back into the game with that equaliser. That is why timed finishing is so important, especially with headers, as it's pretty much the only way to have a chance of scoring from one. So that's 1-1 now in the 49th minute. What a cracking start to the second half. There's plenty of time to go on and get the victory, but also can be said for Crystal Palace. Let's see what the rest of the half has in store for us. So straight from kick-off, Chibueze gives the ball to Wharton. He plays an incisive pass to Vega, lays it to Sarr and plays a stunning first-time pass to Núñez, who smashes it home to put Palace 2-1 up in the 58th minute. I've got to hand it to the AI there. I don't mind conceding goals when they are beautifully worked like that, but unfortunately we got carried away from our equaliser, and just like that we find ourselves behind again. Can we bounce back? Well, we hit Palace with the Uno reverse, straight from kick-off. Hugo with the first-time through ball into Embleton, with Lacroix nowhere in sight. He smacks it past Turner in goal and levels the game again. And some people say kick-off goals don't exist in this game. But we take that, that's 2-2 now. In the 60th minute, where will this rollercoaster game take us next? It would be a shame if we come away from this game with 0 points. So again, straight from kick-off, Palace keep the ball well, pinging it around to one another, making it very hard to close them down, especially with my players having less stamina than a pig. For the life of me, I couldn't get near them. The tiki-taka was brutal. It felt like playing against a team full of Xavi and Iniesta regens. Just look at all these first-time passes. How are my 60 rated players supposed to keep up? But the ball finally finds its way to Vega, who gives it to Chibueze, who appears to have 99 agility. He finds Darwin Núñez, who lays it to Sarr. Gets a first-time shot away, but is saved well, down to Breeze's left, and we manage to get the ball cleared and survive that attack. So approaching the 90th minute, I feared the worst with Palace on the attack. Williams makes a crucial standing tackle and we partially get the ball cleared. But now in stoppage time, with Palace in possession, is it time to concede a scripted EA last minute goal? No! Williams is there again. With the crucial interception, he plays it back to the keeper, and that is the final whistle. We manage to hold on to the 2-2 draw. Let's go! A point on the table after match day 1, we'll take that. It was an even game, so I'm happy with the draw. With that being said, let's have a quick look at the table after match day 1. So the point puts us in 7th. Let's not get too excited, with Liverpool next up, Ipswich up there in 2nd, with a surprise win in their first game. But more surprisingly, Liverpool and Arsenal with opening day defeats. Does this give us a chance against Liverpool? Well, let's get straight into our next game and find out. So no changes to the starting 11, I'm pretty happy with how they performed last game out. I'm not expecting much in this game. I don't think we'll be able to keep up with the pace of Liverpool, but we'll see. Let's get into this. Pause the video now and let me know in the comments your score predictions for this game. So in the 5th minute we actually get the first opportunity of the game, with Guy spreading the ball out to Wern. He cuts it back to Williams, then a first time cross into Whelan produces a spectacular volley that smashes onto the crossbar, and we get really unlucky not to make it 1-0. On to the 18th minute, Endo dinks a ball into Jota, controls it nicely and lays it to Salah. He skips past Thomas the statue, then returns it back to Jota. He holds the ball up and delivers a sweet through ball. Salah gets it onto his left and rifles it past Breeze in goal to make it 1-0 Liverpool. The Jota and Salah show has begun. In the 30th minute, Guy gets dispossessed by Curtis Jones. Him and Gakpo play keep ball together, just toying with my clueless midfield. Jones plays it to Salah, who then sends it to Gakpo. Jota's looking for it, receives it, and then turns into prime Ronaldinho. Turns my defence into complete scrambled eggs and slaps it past the keeper. And that sees us 2-0 down, and already it looks game over for us. Jota really rubbing it in there with that celebration. Well, there goes our invincible season. However, straight from kickoff, Harris looks for it on the left. Hugo sends it. He takes it out wide, then cuts back inside. Embleton is screaming for it. He looks up and sees Guy in space. And then, just take a look at this absolute monstrosity. What an unbelievable strike from the captain. Just like that, he fires us back into the game and makes it 2-1. Let's take a closer look at that humdinger of a goal. Van Dijk didn't want the smoke. Backs off, and Guy guides the missile flying past Alisson in goal. Gotta love those green-timed power shots. Let's see what we can do for the rest of the game. 43rd minute, and Tsimikas flies down the left flank, cuts back and sees Jones on the edge of the box. Jones controls it and bangs out a flare pass into Jota. He turns and shoots, but Breeze reacts well to save it out for a corner. From the resulting corner, Salah whips it in, but Jota's header goes wide. And that is that for the first half, and we go in 2-1 down at the break. Into the second half, Salah plays it through to Bradley on the right flank. He returns it back to Salah and plays a 1-2 with Gakpo. Takes a first time shot on his weaker foot, and we get super unlucky with that unfortunate ricochet off our keeper, as if Liverpool need any luck on their side. But that does put us 3-1 down now, and will go down as an own goal from Breeze. Salah thanking his God there for that lucky goal gifted to him, and that surely does now mean there's no way back for us in this game. 64th minute, Harris has given up and gives away a cheap ball. The ball finds its way to Jones, and he just drives it into the box, and Hayden just can't keep up, and he slams it home into the top corner, giving Breeze no chance, making it 4-1, and this is now starting to look ugly. The golfing class is just too much on ultimate difficulty. Can we at least get another goal before the final whistle? Well, no, but we did get a chance to go down to 10 men. Guy gives away a real sloppy ball, and it eventually finds Gakpo. He plays in Jota, and he's clean through before Thomas hacks him down in pure frustration. He gets a straight red, and Liverpool get a free kick in a very dangerous position. Trent stands over it and crashes the ball off the crossbar, and we survive that passage of play. But we're short-lived when Endo lofts a ball to Jota. He finds Jones, who returns it back. He then plays in Gakpo, who I thought was going to shoot, but instead plays in a smart ball back to Jota. And that completes the absolute cookout. 5-1 it finishes, Liverpool's front three completely ruining us from start to finish, and we stood no chance. So that's full time. Let's quickly end this match, forget about it, and take a look at the table after that heavy defeat. Now, we did have a Carabao Cup game against Hull, but like I said at the start, this is a league challenge, so this fixture will get quick simmed, and we lose 3-2 anyways, so that's one less distraction we don't have to worry about anymore. But before our last game for the episode against Southampton, let's take a look at the table. So thanks to our drubbing from Liverpool, it has fired us into the relegation zone in 19th, but as you can see we're only a point away from 13th, so early doors yet. But what the hell is going on with Arsenal? 2 games, 2 defeats. Is it time for Arteta to go? Moving up the table, no one has a 100% record anymore, and some real surprising strong starts from Ipswich and Leicester on 4 points. Technically we're only a win away from the top of the league, but let's get into this massive relegation clash with Southampton, who are also on just the 1 point. It's vital we don't drop maximum points in this one. Can we get our first win? Unfortunately, Williams is suspended because he picked up a red card in that cup game, which is just ridiculous and shouldn't be a thing. So Davies comes in at right back, who is actually higher rated anyways. I must have missed that before. Whoops. Right, let's get into this. Come on lads, big 3 points here. Okay, so with Southampton kicking off, this game got going really quick in terms of chances, but Southampton kept the ball really well in the opening minutes. They were really hard to close down, with their slow build-up play around the back. Every time I got close to one of their players, they would just move the ball onto the next defender, which was really frustrating. But the ball does eventually find Joe Aribo, who was pulling the strings for Southampton early on, He holds the ball up nicely, and then fizzes the ball into Bakayoko. Good signing for the Saints there. He looks up and sees Fernandes in space. Thomas wins the ball, but dilly-dallies about with it. Fernandes snatches it off him easily and fires Southampton into an early lead. My defenders clearly got caught cold there, still half asleep. If they don't wake up, then this could be a long game and very damaging for our challenge hopes. But fortunately, my attackers are awake and are looking for a quick response. Harris plays it into Hugo. And then on to Embleton. He holds it up and then lays it off to Guy. Embleton looks for the return and Guy threads him a nice through ball. He then cuts it back to Hugo inside the box. And bang! Smashes it home with the near post finish. A quick-fire equaliser, and we're up for this. Southampton didn't even touch the ball in that passage of play. So that's 1-1 now. In the 13th minute, a very entertaining start to this game. Let's see what else this game brings. Now again, straight from kickoff, another chance is on the horizon. With Southampton going back to their possession-based game, looking to respond to our equaliser. The ball gets played into Aribo, he plays a 1-2 with Smallbone, and Guy comes in to pinch it off him, plays a quick ball to Hugo, then on to Embleton. Fake shots past Smallbone, holds it up, then lays it off to Guy. And after the goal he scored against Liverpool, he says why not have a crack. Coming agonisingly close, smashing the crossbar, and we were just inches away from taking the lead. 25th minute and Bakayoko flies down the right flank. He looks a real threat, turning my players inside out. Looks to have opened up space for a shot, but then just look at this awesome tackle from Harper. Goal-saving tackle with his trailing leg, and he gets the ball clear. Legend! So just before half-time, we've got a corner, with Harper about to whip in an outswinger. The ball falls to a Southampton player, and is headed out, and comes to Hayden. He lines up the shot, but goes disgustingly high and wide, and that will wrap up the first half. So actually pretty quiet in the end, after a rapid start, but let's get into the second half. Embleton receives the ball, with plenty of space to create something, but decides to go for glory, and wastes a good opportunity. After some good battling from Hugo, he wins the ball and he's away. Driving into the box, one of their defenders comes over to close me down, puts me off, and just look at that absolute choke by me. That's the gamble you pay. If you use timed finishing, I rush the shot and squander a glorious chance. Now for most of the second half, it was just me chasing Southampton around. They were so frustrating and boring to play against, as they never looked interested in trying to score a goal. However, in the 76th minute, they finally created a chance. Bakayoko, doing his usual thing, jinking inside and out, gives it to Fernandes, plays a well-timed ball back into Bakayoko, looking to be a destined goal. Just look at this last-ditch tackle from Thomas. If only he was awake at the start of the game. Although the tackle will prove to be an epic tackle, because resulting from it, Harris takes the ball up the left flank, gives it to Hugo in the middle. I play a lock Embleton to make him run into space, produce a perfectly timed through ball, and he's through, one-on-one with the keeper. Slots it away. Get in there. Embleton fires us into a 2-1 lead late on. No time to mess about with timed finishing. That was a golden opportunity and couldn't afford to mess it up. Real nice player lock, great assist, nice finish, and now minutes away from those precious 3 points. Can we hold on? Now deep into stoppage time, I thought this is bound to be where EA whip out their script and give Southampton a scammy goal. But luckily, the referee didn't pull out another random 5 minutes like they normally do, and he blows up for full time. And we did, in fact, hold on and secure our first win of the campaign, and a massive win of that over our fellow relegation rivals. Fully deserved victory too. Southampton were playing for the draw, but this is a challenge and we're always going for the big 3 points. Now that puts us on 4 points, so let's head over to the table and see where it puts us. So slap bang in the middle, in 10th, we will absolutely take that after 3 games. 1-1, drew 1 and lost 1. Not bad going for little old Carlisle. Looking at the rest of the table, Brighton are the surprise leaders right now, with West Ham doing well in second. Shout out to Ipswich also for remaining undefeated. Now in regards to the bottom, Chelsea and Arsenal have had horrendous starts to the campaign, with Arsenal losing all 3 of their games. The Gunners have run out of ammo. But that does conclude the first month of fixtures for this episode, and I'm more than happy with the start we've made. Now let's take a look at the calendar and see what the month of September has in store for us and for the next episode. So as you can see, a very tough round of fixtures. Man City and Tottenham away could be devastating, and I would normally say West Ham could be a game we could pick up points, but they are in second place, so that will also be tough. But join me on the next episode to find out how we did. So I hope you guys found this first episode entertaining and are excited to join the journey in the quest to keeping Carlisle in the Premier League on ultimate difficulty. Please like the video if you're on this journey with me, comment with your thoughts, and of course consider subscribing if you're new. I'll see you in the next one.